Welcome to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense, deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist, here on the Intuitive Therapist podcast. I am often asked about spirit guides. I often hear my clients, when I do readings for them, they'll say, Janis, do you know who my spirit guide is, or what their name is, what they look like? Can you see them? And I get tickled because while I am a clairvoyant, I do see things, I do see them sometimes, my connection is more based on energy and getting information from them more than it is seeing them. Some people are very gifted and they can see them. We're all given different gifts. And as, of course, I continue to develop mine, seeing spirit guides isn't really necessary. I mean, and it's not always necessary to remember or to know their names, but it really is kind of a curious thing for a lot of people. So I wanted to talk to you about what spirit guides are. When I do readings, I'll tell people, I connect with their spirit guide team, my spirit guide team in spirit, and I call them they. It's this collective of energy, this collected spiritual essence that I work with. And I'm shown images, words, people, places, blocks. I see emotions. I see everything I need to see in the person that I'm doing a reading for. And so I know I'm tapping into this beautiful spirit guide energy. Spirit guides can take a lot of forms. Really, we all have a spirit guide team waiting to support us. So the only catch is they can't help you unless you ask for them. Okay. And spirit guides, they are, a lot of people have different views, but what I believe is that before we incarnate, we have a team. We have a spirit guide, the primary guide who's been with us since birth, who stays with us for the rest of our life. We have a guardian angel who's also been with us since birth. And we have a team of spirits to help us along our path, to help us achieve what our soul has set out to achieve before our incarnation. And we all have certain members of our team. And these spirit guides, they're carefully chosen and recruited just for you. They are beings that are completely devoted to your growth, period. All spirit guides and angels and archangels and all of that, they are truly here for your growth. And many of these spirit guides have had lifetimes here on Earth. And just like you, they have their own kind of eclectic bundle of gifts and wisdom and experience. And they're perfectly suited for your highest calling. Their only job is to support you and guide you as much or as little as you wish. And I have found that most people have at least 6 guides in their inner circle, and they may call in new ones as they need. For example, spirit guides can reveal themselves in meditation. They can send you information through numbers and animal messengers and synchronicities. But here are some of the main types that I have found to exist. One, we have, in addition to the primary guide and the guardian angel, we have protector guides. And they are strong in manner and character, and they have you could get a sense that they have a very, very big presence. And they come from kind of way back. I know for me, one of my protector guides is Archangel Michael. And he really, really watches out for me. And I also, while I can't always name mine, I do know that they have intervened with me in different areas of my life at different times, because there's no way that I could have either gotten into or out of the situation without their influence. And while many of these spirit guides are human, truly, they can incarnate in this lifetime to help us. Protector guides can appear as even like kind of animals, like totem animals. So you may end up seeing these animals over time, whether it's in person or on your Facebook feed or in your mind or somewhere on the computer or an image somewhere. And they're called upon when you need strength and courage and bravery, or to have with you all the time. You can have guides with you all the time. They can be everywhere at the same time. So don't ever feel like you are being selfish when you call for their assistance. We have gatekeeper guides. These are like protector guides, but for the spirit world. Like these guides offer physical and psychic protection to all spirit communicators. So for those of us who tend to be empathic, and there are a lot of us on this earth, and we're becoming more and more sensitive. I have people come to me all the time. They think they're going crazy because they're picking up everybody's energy and they're seeing things and they're feeling overwhelmed and debilitated and very, very sensitive. And so they ask me to help them learn to manage the energy of their empathy, but also to connect with higher beings to help them. So really, this gatekeeper guide allows higher vibrational energies and appropriate spirits to work with you. So it's a protector guide who is the one that says, yep, you can come in and be with Janice or not. You're not healthy for her. So when you're beginning to open up to the spiritual realm, all I want you to do is connect with your gatekeeper. You don't have to know what they look like. You don't have to sense their energy. You don't have to say a specific prayer. You don't have to know their name. All you need to do is invoke them. And all that means is that you say, all right, gatekeeper, I need you. Come show me, come guide me, help me. And they'll be there. Then there are some message bearer guides, and these guides assist us in finding and obtaining information, improving our ability to get, hear, and deliver messages from the spirit world, and in developing clairaudient or clairvoyant skills. Now, clairaudient skills have to do with hearing, right? And clairvoyant skills has to do with seeing. So a lot of psychics and mediums and those who work with Akashic records, we use these guides during readings so that they can give us information. I know they are part of my spirit guide team because there are certain ones like during my morning prayer in meditation, what I'll do is I will call on a series of six or seven guides. So for example, especially the archangelic realm, I call on Archangel Michael to give me strength and courage, to cut cords, to clear my energy. I will call on him to just be with me when there are times where I feel weak or I need some help to step into a powerful emotion that is going to benefit me. I call on Archangel Metatron. We've talked about in a previous post some of the archangels. I'll call on Archangel Metatron to clear and open my chakras and close them when I'm done with my work. I'll call on Archangel Raphael to offer me healing and take away whatever doesn't serve me or heal a pain that I'm in, physical pain or emotional pain. I'll call on Archangel Chamuel, who helps me find whatever I need, whether it's a literal object or an idea or motivation, creativity, inspiration, opportunities, whatever it is. I call on Archangel Chamuel for that. And Archangel Jophiel, I call on her to beautify my thoughts and to raise my vibration when I'm kind of dealing with some tough things. Archangel Gabriel she is the communication messenger. I call on her to help me with the highest and positive intention share information with people when I do a reading or if I'm in session or I'm getting ready to go into a meeting. I call her in and she helps me. And then I call on Archangel Uriel. He is the guy that for me gives me the ahas, the epiphanies, the understandings, the answers. And I also call on, my spirits and spirit guides and all other beings of light to assist me, even though I don't know exactly what they look like or what their names are. So we have a lot of message bearer guides that will help us. And some of these message bearer guides, they can be human. They can appear in the form of a bird, animals like I talked about, or they can actually appear in the shape of a human being. They can travel great distances in a short amount of time to give us information. And that's the beauty of the spirit guide team. They are limitless. They could be anywhere at any time. We have healing guides. I talked about Archangel Raphael. They help with our spiritual, emotional, and physical health. And they're great guides for anyone working, in a healing profession, like energy or actual surgery. And we can connect with these guides to improve our well-being. Again, all we have to do is invoke them. And you have to remember that they can't intervene in our lives unless we ask them. There are certain emergent circumstances, whether you're in danger, and those kind of situations where they will intervene to keep you safe. But most of the time, you really do, all you have to do is ask, hey, come be with me. I need your help to heal this thing, and they will be there. We have teacher guides that help us on our spiritual growth. They really direct you to books that you need to read, classes to take, and introduce you to new and needed physical teachers here on this earth. And teacher guides assist us in understanding philosophical and spiritual aspects of any studies that you take on earth. And Archangel Metatron is one of those archangels who helps you take kind of all that esoteric information that seems really, really confusing, and he is able to simplify that in a way that you can understand. So they really help us learn, these teacher guides help us learn our own lessons through action. So you can call in your teacher guide when you're looking to learn more on your spiritual path and to be introduced to teachers, books, and like-minded souls along your path. And I can tell you that I have really benefited from that wonderful teacher guide in so many ways, meeting so many wonderful people and learning so many things when I've needed to. We have joy guides, spirit guides that remind us when and how to have fun. They bring us joy, laughter, and to remind us to kind of lighten up because life can be pretty heavy. A lot of the times, they will appear as children, or you can get the essence in a sweet little puppy, or fairies, or otherwise joking spirits. Like if you're going through a difficult time, call on one of these joy guides to kind of discover peace and lightheartedness. We have also different kind of guides. We have guides that stay with us for lifetimes, like I talked about. We have short-term guides, energy and alchemy guides. We have power, animal, and totem guides, and guides that watch over our entire families. I know that there are people who have been in my life who've crossed over, who guide me. Without a doubt, I've experienced that. So I know that they were here in physical form, and they have gone up to heaven and helped me. I felt them very, very specifically. So really, there are ways to connect with these guides that I want to share with you. We have guides, we have romance guides, we have guides for a business, like any kind of guide you can imagine, they're there. You will know if a spirit guide is negative or positive just based on how you feel with the information that they give you. So all you have to do is just kind of get a sense of how the information makes you feel, and you will know whether or not this is a negative entity or a very positive entity. So I'm going to give you some ways that you can develop your relationship with your spirit guides right now. And for some of you, you're chomping at the bit to know, and these are some very, very simple things. One of the biggest things I'm going to encourage you to do is not use your thinking mind when you do these things, because your thinking mind will block any subtle information that they give you. I suggest also that when you do this, when you start to do this and communicate with your guides, journal about it. Or even just sit in quiet and just meditate and ask the guides to tell you what you need to know. And there are times where you're going to get information and you're like, oh, I knew that. But they're telling you the truth. They're telling you what you need to know. So one of the ways, I'm going to kind of list like 10 or 11 here, is to just ask clearly. Our spirit guides can guide us with anything from finding a car to healing a broken heart, from experiencing more joy to finding the right job. from meeting your future partner to getting through the darkest hour, from finding the courage to step into your highest calling and letting go of the past. No request is too big or too small, too specific or too broad. But because we live in a world of free will, in order for them to step in, we have to ask them. A second way is to be unattached to the outcome. When I started to work with my spirit guides, I really spent a long time waiting for them to appear. I really wanted to see them because I had such a curiosity. And I truly wanted to have a more personal relationship. And I felt like if I saw them, that it would mean that I'm actually really seeing them and they really do exist. But the thing is, I finally let go of what I thought the experience should look like, right? And a lot of times I'll get images of them, and sometimes they look like we would typically think, long beard with they're wearing a cloak and all of that. And sometimes they look like a normal human being. So what I do is I receive their guidance through my mind's eye or through maybe even another person. And the more my relationship with my guides deepens, the easier it's been for me to kind of let go of how I expect to connect with them. And so if I can just ask you, put aside your expectations. You don't ever have to see them. Don't even think about having to see them. My goal in talking about all of this today is for you to just experience them. Just let that be your experience. So you could dedicate some time to do a meditation where you meet your spirit guides. And there's a lot on the internet about that. You can look at meditations to meet your spirit guides, and you can work with any of those, but put dedicated time aside by doing a meditation. It really is a great way to connect with your guides, and just ask. And again, you might not get this thunderbolt of information, but you're certainly going to get a download of information that is going to be helpful to you. Create a spirit guide guidance box. So you can find yourself a small special box for you to communicate with your spirit guides. You can decorate it, and you can set it in a very special place. And what you can do is on a small piece of paper, write down a question or something specific that you'd like their help with. Fold it up and put it in the box. And then see what comes through at some point. You may get this this idea immediately. It may take a couple of days, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I remember asking about that before. Man, now I get it. You could simply ask for a sign. You could pick up a particular object you want to receive as a way of communicating with your guides. It could be anything from a symbol like a star or a red rose. The first time I did this, I'll tell you what, I did that this morning. I got in my car before I went to work, and I said to my guides, I said, I'm feeling kind of rough, feeling a little discouraged. And I said, please show me that you're here by playing this song. It was a particular song. And I literally switched the station, and it was playing. And I just smiled. I thought, thank you, thank you, thank you. It literally is that. You could ask for any kind of sign. You could say, okay, within the next hour or 24 hours, show me a white feather, or show me a picture of an animal, and you'll know that they're there because you'll see it. Creating a sacred space for you to connect with your guides every day is another way to open a connection. And it could be a window ledge. It could be beside your table. It could be a beautiful table with crystals, or a picture of, something like Ganesh, whatever it is, whatever sacred space. It could be where you meditate, where you have low light and have a salt lamp and play beautiful music and have your meditation pillow that you sit on. But put aside time every day to connect with your guides, just like any relationship in your life. In order for it to grow, you've got to invest time in the relationship. One of my favorite ways to connect with higher realms is through intuitive writing. So you can start by clearing a sacred space, by lighting a candle and sitting down with your journal and maybe 2 different colored pens. And with the first pen, write your question. And with the second colored pen, ask your guides to answer and let the response flow from your hand to the page. In other words, don't think. Just let it come through. And I don't care how weird it sounds, whatever they offer to you, just write everything down, don't censor it, and you're going to get information. Call in your team is another way. If you're undertaking a particular endeavor, don't be afraid to call in the best guides for the job. For example, if you're writing your first book, you might recruit a guide who has written books or poetry of their own. Archangel Gabriel is one. She's the angel of communication. You could think about poets who have passed or authors who've passed that you really like. Call them in, by name. And if you're going through a particularly hard time, you could call in a wise teacher guide to help you work on whatever the situation is trying to teach you. So when you're working, for example, let's say you have a big presentation, you could call in somebody who is passed, but they're a great orator. And so they can help guide you to say the best words. But here's the thing. I really don't want you to micromanage your spirit guides. Like, be clear about what you want them to do and help you, and trust that it's going to be done, and they're going to show up in their own way, and you're going to know that they're there. And a lot of the times it will seem like it's a coincidence, like, wait a minute, I just was talking about that, or synchronistic. But that's your guides communicating with you. So no micromanaging, no doubting, just trust that the work is being done as soon as you offer your prayer. And you can keep a diary of the things, the visions that you have, the guidance that you get, the dreams that you have, the intuitive hunches you receive. The more you build this muscle of practicing the habit of really writing down what you get, the easier it's going to be for you to trust the guidance that you get. Now, in dreams tell so much. Sometimes I have the weirdest dreams, I have to say. But sometimes I have these amazing dreams, right? And sleep is a wonderful way to connect with your guides. So before you go to bed, ask your guides to come to you in your sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, grab your journal and start writing the messages that you received in your dream, or write down just the things that you remember. Some people remember everything about their dream. And some people remember only symbols and signs and things that have happened. And so whether or not you have a conscious memory of it, just be open to the idea that the information is going to come when you put your pen to paper. So just jot down anything that pops into your mind, regardless of what sense it makes. Okay? So the biggest piece, again, is to get out of your thinking mind, open your heart, open your mind to connect with them, and connect with your intuition. They will speak to us with gut senses, instincts, new ideas. They will present new opportunities. And if you practice awareness, if you open your mind up to the possibility that we have these guides that, oh my gosh, they're here just to help us. All you have to do is have the intention to connect with them and practice that and develop a relationship with them. And over time, you will absolutely be more connected to your spirit guide team than ever. You are unique, and so is your spirit guide team. And it's a great way to stay connected to spirit and to know that you are never alone. I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. It's been so exciting to share this one today with you about spirit guides, because it's really, really cool. If you haven't listened to the one where I've talked about archangels, it's entitled Archangels 101. Go back and listen to that, because it's really cool too. And if you feel like that you would like a reading in any aspect of your life to even connect with spirit guides, to understand what your path and purpose is, past lives, whatever it is, it would be my pleasure to do that for you. Just call my office at 404-558-3971. Email me, Janis@janisrcohen.com. And if you feel like it would be so wonderful, just run over to iTunes and rate and review my podcast. It would be wonderful. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to work on any aspect of your life, I work with people all over the world and help them reach their potential, truly help them take action in their lives. So give me a call, reach out to me. It would be my pleasure to support you in that. And as always, have a wonderful day, a blessed week, and live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend and subscribe, rate, and review at iTunes.